Hi, everybody. Here's what you need to know about the interview process for graduate school and very importantly, how to prepare yourself for it. First, let's talk about the purpose of the interview. The Graduate School Admissions Committee uses an interview to assess how well an applicant would fit into their graduate program. Interviewers assess your personal characteristics, like your interpersonal skills, how you express yourself, your confidence level, and your personal style. That's why they want to see you. They want to meet you either face to face. This could be online and Zoom. Very often it's going to be face to face in person. Know your graduate programs. Only interview the best students. So if you got an interview, an invitation to an interview, that's a win. They only interview the best candidates, already knowing that any one of you could be successful in their graduate program. From that small group that they interview, the admissions committee will select who will be admitted into their, who will make the final cut and be admitted into their graduate program for that upcoming year. So rule number one, how to prepare yourself. Rule number one for an interview, know the graduate program well. Do your homework, prepare. That one-on-one interview with a member of the admissions committee at your first choice graduate program is a critical moment for you to make a positive first impression. You will know in advance about an upcoming interview. You'll have time to practice, time to prepare. Practicing that unique interpersonal moment is expected and absolutely essential. Know the department well, know the graduate program well, so that you can ask informed questions, participate in discussions with individuals and with groups. From their department websites, learn the research interests of the faculty members, the theoretical orientation, the unique strengths of this particular graduate program. You want to thoroughly acquaint yourself with the training model, with areas of concentration within the degree program, if there are any. You want to know about at least some specific faculty members by name and their particular areas of interest or specialties that you find most appealing. Also be able to show how your interests and your qualifications fit this particular graduate program. Basically help the admissions committee see you belong there. You belong there at this graduate program. You know the program, you fit in here. You want each graduate program to think that they are your absolute number one choice for graduate school. So show great interest, know the features, know details about them, ask intelligent questions, that sort of thing. Each graduate program should think they're your number one choice. Rule number two, in an interview, know yourself well. Rule number one was know the program well. Rule number two is know yourself well, which means reviewing your personal statement. A lot of content that went into your personal statement for your application also shows up in this interview. Do not just assume that the members of the admissions committee read and remember every word of your personal statement. Don't hesitate to repeat the things that are in there. Review the highlights about you and facts that you definitely want them to associate with you and with your application. Where you're from, what you studied, that you were a double major, things that are unique about you that stand out. Bring up any special experiences, talents, characteristics, you're bilingual, that make you uniquely qualified for graduate school or for this particular program. Like in the personal statement, use the interview as an opportunity to emphasize your strengths in your application package and briefly explain any weaknesses if that should be needed. Notice the parallels between the personal statement content and what you talk about in this interview. By know yourself, when I say know yourself, I mean be clear on your career goals. Be clear on your professional timeline. That is what you want to be doing 5 to 10 years from now in your career. Sound familiar? This is the same stuff you want to have put in your personal statement. If you appear uncertain about your future goals during this interview, or if you have not taken the time the trouble to thoroughly research this graduate program, you're probably going to come across in the interview as lacking focus or lacking seriousness or just lacking interest about wanting to be part of this particular graduate program. You need to look prepared, engaged, excited to be there. Like in the personal statement, the interview only describes, in the interview, we only describe experiences that you would feel free discussing with a stranger. This is a professional interaction. You want to keep it that way. You want the admissions committee members to consider you as a future colleague. Present yourself in that professional manner. Rule number 3, for the interview, be sure to practice what I'm going to call the performance. The performance is what you do and what you say on interview day. Answers to questions you ask. Rehearse those in advance until you're comfortable, casual, giving your answer. Try to relax. Try to be yourself. Be honest and sincere in how you answer each question while maintaining that professional tone and that demeanor, professional demeanor. Your goal in an interview, face-to-face interview, this can be kind of intimidating, and your goal is not to come across as perfect. So just act naturally. Do not try to sound super smart or sophisticated. It's actually even okay to mention if you're nervous. If you are indeed nervous, say, I'm kind of nervous right now. That means it's important to you. This is important. Here's why. Genuineness may just be more impressive to members of the admissions committee than eloquence. Lastly, be prepared to ask questions. Students come to this interview for graduate programs to answer questions. They're prepared for that. But you actually also want to be prepared to ask questions as well. I suggest ask first about academic and intellectual opportunities within the program, concentrations, training sites, things like that. Don't be afraid to ask about practical realities as well, life as a graduate student, like financial aid, especially if some of those interviews are conducted by current graduate students, not just the faculty that are on the admissions committee. This opportunity to ask questions surprises a lot of students when they go on a graduate school interview. And if unprepared, you will actually look uninterested or passive in the admissions committee. They'll ask, do you have any questions for us? And if you're not ready, you might say, well, no. It makes you look uninterested. It makes you look passive. This event, this opportunity to ask questions, also may come at the very end of the interview, after they've got all their questions answered. And you don't want the last impression they have of you to seem unenthusiastic. Do you have any questions for us? Well, no, because you weren't ready. You don't want that last impression to be you as unenthusiastic or you seem uninterested in the graduate program. So prepare. Be prepared to ask questions. So in summary, what you need to know about the interview process for graduate school and how to prepare yourself appropriately. Number one, do your homework. Know the graduate program very well. You will probably be asked to explain how your goals and your interests, your 5 to 10 years from now, what do you want to be doing in your career, how they fit with the program's strengths. Number two, remember to be yourself. Know yourself. Be yourself in the performance. Do not try to sound super smart or sophisticated. Be genuine, be honest. Genuineness may just be more impressive than eloquence. And lastly, be prepared to ask questions. Many students forget this. Be prepared to ask questions or else you will look uninterested in the program or passive, lacking energy, lacking inquisitiveness. Thanks for listening. See you again soon.